Good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon, world. This is the Rastafari International Ambassador, the man from Buzzrock, Jaboni, better known as the Badass. And this morning, I'm gonna have a straight up reasoning now with my brothers and sisters here in the West. Now, as a Rastaman who is a Rasta baby, all my life I have been living and practicing black liberation, meaning that all my life my aspiration and dream is to see is for the return of Africa and I'm here today having different thoughts because of my ongoing experience with people, namely the South Africans, so-called Rasta population. Now, I have spent years in the southern region of Africa. I went into Africa before Southern Africa was free and actually took part in that liberation struggle. After the armed struggle, I come to realize that it was all a fraud in terms of the armed struggle, meaning that nothing never really changed. I have lived through several internal xenophobic war. For example, the South Africans and the Zimbabwean people had a war called the Kumbe War, meaning that what is called Kumbe is what we in Jamaica or in the West would call taxi, robot taxi. And in that robot taxi war, I have witnessed on more than one occasion where South African blacks turn up at the taxi stand with M16 assault rifle and just spray down the Zimbabwean. I have witnessed that on more than one occasion. I have witnessed the level of violence against black and black that I experienced in South Africa is nowhere else in the West. That level of violence have I ever experienced that level of violence. And I have lived through that. it to say it never affect me, I think it's an understatement. However, when I look at the bigger picture, the apartheid regime and system have not changed one bit. And I realize that the strive for freedom and the fight for freedom in Africa is nothing but a dream and illusion. As I keep saying and pointing out, from the team of us that went in to South Africa, I am the only one alive today. Now, I happen to be on a group chat, that's what it is, a group chat, set up and administrate by both South African Rastafarian and Rastafarian from Sivla camp. Now, since I've been on this platform, I have come to learn that Africa is not a nice place. I have come to learn that. I have come to learn that African is more brainwashed and in mental slavery than I and I here in the West. I'll break that down as I go along. Now, because of my freedom of expression, freedom of being, freedom of existing, that the West, as a child of the West, have afforded me, I have come to learn that that freedom does not exist in Africa. One must be very mindful and careful of this idea of wanting to return to the so-called motherland. I say this to say, the freedom that we here in the West is enjoying at the moment, going forward to Africa, that freedom will be in conflict with the African so-called culture. Here it is, I am on a platform that is dominated by African, because it is being said that over 3 to 4 million Rasta exists in South Africa alone. Just imagine now, for example, just imagine 100,000 of us from the West return to South Africa. Just imagine that. We would be putting ourselves literally back in slavery in Africa. Because here it is, the majority will be telling the minority what to do and what they cannot do. Because this is what I'm facing on this platform now. People is telling I that I too vulgar. People is telling I that because I enjoy the better things of life, I'm a Babylonian. And people that don't know I from nowhere is accusing I of all manner of things. Just imagine this. All because, one, I'm a ballad. Two, the freedom that I express, it is not in line with what whole man like, all senile Rasta man like Bongo Watto, who was senile and confused, go and confuse these people that they know are judging everyone by the criteria of this old man that died and gone. Now, just imagine, I who create this movement, these people were still in apartheid. Them not ready to fight them oppressor. But their history of xenophobic consists of mainly turning on their African brothers and sisters. Can you imagine this? I mean, these people is Babylon more than even Babylon. I'm trying to just make my brother and sister them know, say, don't make a man's skin color fool you. Because when an African man can openly call I a slave baby and go as far to tell I say my father and mother is also a slave. This type of cultural expression is not limited to the Zulu man that call I these things. This is something that 3/4 African deep-seatedly harbor in themselves against I and I. They harbor that amongst themselves here in UK, in America, and on the continent. Anywhere you come in contact with these people, there is this deep-seated hate for us. Now, for those of you who want to subject yourself, claiming that you're returning to motherland, yes, as tourists, as visitors, it's good to touch back the land, to get your little taste of the motherland and experience. But if it's to go and live, then you better make sure you have enough money to live away from them. You can't live with them. And my advice to my brothers and sisters out here in the West is that be mindful of this dream that we are harboring of returning to Africa. Like I said in my earlier broadcast, the idea of returning to Africa was very good 100 years ago. It was very good and would be something for us to strive for, even 70 or 50 years ago. I don't think it's a good idea today for us. And whosoever want to pick up themselves individually and return, feel free to do that. A lot of us is living in Africa under subhuman condition, but is embarrassed to speak up. Embarrassed. Well, like me tell you already, I'm not embarrassed to tell you now. And like me say, anytime you want to go to Africa, I can do that as a tourist. But certain people, no way. I pick up myself, come live amongst Uno. Uno can go and dream. And that was a very short one because I just come off of the road and I'm coming home. This is the thought that was going through my mind, and I was planning to come and tell the platform what I just said just now, but I said no, this is no secret. This is something that the rest of my brother and sister them for hear. When I tell them what to do, you know. When I tell them what to do, I just express my feelings of what me know, how these people feel about us. Here it is. It's not one man or two man or two woman or three woman. I express deep-seated hatred towards I, because I am not singing the same song that they are singing. So therefore, how this go? If me not free for tell a one how me free. Right now me free for say what me want to say right now from where I stand and where I sit here in Babylon. Babylon not put no restriction upon high. So how me go come to Africa? If Ono cannot treat me so, Ono attempt to treat me, Ono attempt to suppress me upon my own platform. So how, if me was there beside Ono that treat me? You know how much people I show me them gun? Rasta I show me them gun? Psychological I try threaten I. Well, like me I tell you now, You can stay there and serve who you want to serve and free yourself. I will stay where I'm at and watch Uno unfold and I pray for no freedom and get no freedom. Because we don't want no freedom. We don't want things to remain the way it is. That's what we don't want right now. So anybody will attack against what you all hugging up. Because remember telling you, when I was in South Africa, that sound in South Africa, African love. And I remember telling you, throughout the campaign, there is certain music I couldn't play on my sound. And that alone was an eye-opener for me. Certain music where we met at the West here, I could not play. I could not play Bunny Wailer's President Boot at the Mosquito. I put that on at one rally and the whole place get quiet. I was wondering what I did. If you drop a pin, you could I hear it. So, you can't frighten me and come tell me when me can do and what me can say. You can all of up yours, but you struggle.